Check, 1, 2. Doing Linea Rock. Linea Rock. Hey guys, this is Doug Aldrich from the Dead Daisies, and you're watching and listening to Linea Rock from Italy. Linea Rock and Linea Rock.
Hi Doug.
Hi.
Welcome back to Milano.
It's awesome to be back. How have you been?
Fine. How are you?
Bene.
Bene. All right.
Maybe tutto bene.
So you have brand new guitar?
I had this last year, but it's my, it's the one that I have 4 guitars with me out right now, and this is the one that I have backstage before every day.
Okay.
It's an ESP Telecaster Custom. And I really like it because it plays amazing. ESP makes killer stuff, and it's set up like a Les Paul, which I'm used to. You know, being able to do volumes very easily here and then doing the switch. So it's my warm-up guitar, and I didn't know if I was doing photos or what I was doing, so I brought it.
Photos later.
Okay.
Okay. So the Dead Daisies is defined as a musical collective and as a rotating lineup, let's say. Lots of talents in one band. In a sense, it's like the Dio band or Whitesnake, in a sense, but also different. Since in this situation you all seem to be equal, and you know, without one main charismatic leader, at least. So, how is it different for you this time?
Well, this band it's actually been solidified a lot since the beginning. In the beginning, there was, you know, the band, David Lowy started the band with a singer, and they wrote some songs, and put a band together to do some touring a little bit. But eventually they got Marco Mendoza in, and Marco kind of started to pull in the people he thought was good. So he brought in Richard, excuse me, Richard was there first, Richard Forrest. And eventually Richard and Dizzy went back to Guns N' Roses. Brian Tishy was there, Marco was there, David and John Corabi, and I've known John Corabi since we were kids. When I was 15, I met John. So, a long time ago. So, I knew all those guys. Had played with Marco and Brian and Whitesnake, and David and I hit it off. He said, I need you to be a lead guitar player. I'm the lead guitar player. Cool. And it was a really awesome challenge because it's a bit different musically than what I've done, and it's a bit different in terms of being in a band situation where everybody contributes. Like, we do everything together all the time. So that was very different. And then on this second studio record that I made with the band, and we all wrote everything together. We all write together, and on this one we had Dean Casanova come in and play drums. Brian Tishy is amazing. We love Brian. Brian's one of my best friends, and I love his playing. But he wanted to experiment with some other things, and he wasn't sure with the schedule if he could be. You have to be a little bit flexible with the Dead Daisies because the schedule changes quickly. And he decided that wasn't going to work for his schedule this year. And he said, maybe you guys should look at Dean, you know. And I talked to Dean, and Dean said, yeah, I would love to play with you guys. And I just put him in touch with the management, and they worked it out, and we made the record, and it's been great. Dean is, Brian's got big shoes when it comes to drumming, but Dean's got another kind of big shoes that is awesome. And also Dean sings, which is great.
Okay, but about this, the fact that you have a very tight schedule, you play live a lot, is this complicated for somebody like you that, you know, have usually been, you know, involved in many different projects and different bands?
I mean, really the only projects I'm involved with now is the Dead Daisies and Burning Rain. Burning Rain, I have a new record that's going to come out at the beginning of next year, so I'm excited about that. Revolution Saints is kind of a project, but And then I do sessions or whatever, but it's, for me, it's not bad because the way that Dead Daisies works is we tour or record or whatever 6 months of the year. Then the other 6 months you're free to do what you want.
Yeah.
So I can't necessarily always make exact plans when that free 6 months is going to be, but it gives me that time at home with my family, with little kids and everything, and so I'll work around it, you know, because being the Dead Daisies, playing with these guys, having an opportunity to come to Italy and all through Europe and the UK and all over the world is awesome. So I make it work.
So this is very. Do you think that the Dead Daisies is more a band than, you know, Revolution Saints, for example, which is definitely okay? So this is a different spirit, a different attitude, also from your point of view.
It's more of a band in the sense that we really do work together closely all the time, and you know, Dean and I and Jack have a great chemistry with Revolution Saints, and there's talk that we may do a new record actually. I would personally say, if we're going to do that, we need to find some time to do some touring, you know, because that's the deal that I said last time. They said, we want to make a second record. I said, great, but I really want to tour and promote it and you know, go out there. And it didn't work again, schedule-wise. We did one show. We've done one show.
Here.
Frontiers Festival.
Right.
So, but we talked about doing a third record at some point where we have time to do that, maybe this year, for next year's release maybe. Okay. But my priority right now is, obviously, Dead Daisies has a whole bunch of touring still coming up. We're going to Japan after this Europe run, then we go to the US, Canada. We're going to go back to in between there, we're going to do some festivals and some one-off shows with Guns N' Roses and Scorpions. And then in November, December, we're going to come back and do a full-on European run again. So we're busy, but my priority aside from that is finishing Burning Rain, and then we'll see what Revolution Saints what happens with that.
As you said, this is very challenging, and there's a lot of talents in this band. What do you think that you, Doug, added to the Dead Daisies recipe? As a guitarist and as a composer and everything.
Yeah. I'm just I think I maybe added a little different flavor on the guitar that was, you guys know where I come from. It's blues-based rock, and the sound that I've been known for is a little bit of an influence maybe in the Dead Daisies, but to be honest, the Dead Daisies is the first time in a long time that we've written and recorded and had a producer that was in charge. You know, when I would work with David Coverdale, he was executive producer, I was producing with him. That's cool, but it is really nice to have an outside guy that produces and is basically in charge, you know, because then you can just focus on playing and writing and doing what you need to do.
Focusing to the core.
Not necessarily making decisions about the snare, is the snare tuned too high or not. That's cool. I can make that decision if I have to, but it's nice when all I have to do is show up and play guitar.
Considering gear, stage set, guitar amps, effects, how did it change for you through the years? And at the moment, is it very different from the studio to the live set?
With Dead Daisies and recently, my studio situation would be kind of identical to live. I would just use a few pedals that I like, a wah-wah, a distortion pedal, maybe a chorus or a delay, and that's it. Live, use a talk box with the Dead Daisies. But in the beginning, I started off, I loved, heavy rock, and the band Boston had this really really amazing guitar sound.
Yeah.
And I had a 100-watt Marshall from 1971. It was crazy loud. It was so loud it would just rip your face off. And I bought this box that basically you could turn the amp on full and get that sound, but then you could turn this box down and it would come a little bit softer out of the speakers. And it was designed by the guy from Boston. And then that got me into thinking and tweaking.
You mean Tom Scholz?
Tom Scholz,
Oh,
yeah. It was designed. It was called a Power Soak, and it was designed by him. And I was one of the first guys that had it on the East Coast back in '79 or something like that. But it got my mind thinking about, there's a lot of things you could do. You know, you could. I never would have thought that you could turn the amp on full and then squeeze it down with this box. So over the years, I experimented, and the first really aggressive, intense guitar sound I had was with a band called Lion. And I would use a MXR equalizer to kind of spike the mid-range and make it more honky. Okay. Kind of like Michael Schenker would do with the wah, same kind of thing. And then I had a gain pedal that would also slam, take that sound and slam it into the front of the amp even harder. And then I had a noise canceling unit that would get rid of the noise when I wasn't playing, because otherwise it would go shh, you know, like that. But then I would split it through a stereo chorus, and out of the stereo chorus, one side would go dry directly to an amp, then the other side would go through the stereo chorus into the middle amp, and then the other side of the stereo chorus would go into a delay unit, which would go to the third amp, that I would only kick on for solos. And that simple little rig was slamming. I used it for probably 10 years. And then I got into the whole rack thing. You know, Bob Bradshaw designed me a rig when I was in Hurricane. I spent like 15, at the time it was a lot of money, 15,000, and told him what I wanted, had the basic pedal sound that I wanted, and he put it in a rack and he made everything switchable, and it was even a more intense sound. It was like, you could just wail, because it had so much saturation and gain that it was very compressed, but I had all this extra bottom end cranked on it through the power amp and some other boxes. It was just it was a huge sound, huge. But then in the 90s I started to go, I don't need all this stuff, I just want to get back to the roots, you know, Strat into a Marshall, and that's when I kind of realized, it comes from your fingers really the best sounds, and that's what I've been doing ever since, really. Is, with Whitesnake I did have a little rack system just because it was easy to move around when it was all set up already, but this year I changed the sound of the record changed a little bit, and I got a little bit of cleaner sound, and then I'm using some different fuzz boxes. So I love to experiment, Barbara. That's the main thing. I love it. I love to try things and see where it goes. But generally, my sound is always the same because it comes from my heart, my fingers.
And that also for the guitars? I mean, I know that you love Les Pauls.
I love Les Pauls.
You're trying different things, and you've been trying different things through all your career.
I started with the Les Paul, and I've been ending up with Les Paul, but ESP made this guitar for me, and John Suhr from Suhr Guitars made me a beautiful single cut, kind of Les Paul-ish guitar that I'm still making friends with and getting to know it. It's unbelievable. It plays so good that I'm actually, it's like it plays too good. So I'm trying to still make adjustments to where it's comfortable for me, because I need a guitar to fight back a little bit. If it's too easy, sometimes I don't have to push too hard enough, And that's one of the reasons why I went away from the whole rack systems, because it was too easy to just shred and wail all the time. I was missing some emotion a little bit that you get when you really have to dig deep and like really grab the neck and shake it. So,
how many guitars do you own at the moment?
I have over 50.
Wow, my God.
I have a lot.
Is it difficult to pick, your favorites when you have so many? Or
it is, because a lot lot of them are in storage, and they're under my bed, and they're in closets, and they're on tours, and I've got stuff everywhere. I actually need to, one of the things I want to do when I get some free time is inventory where everything is, because I'll look under a bed where I thought...
Or you lose trace of things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't seen that guitar in a song, and I have no idea where it is.
Yeah.
So that's not good.
Not good at all.
I need to get that. But I have a Les Paul in particular gold top that I just love. And actually I've got two that are identical. They're like almost sisters. I got one from Gibson, and I got the other one from a guitar shop in Las Vegas. And the serial numbers are almost identical. They're both from 2006, and both gold tops, killer. So I've got one here tonight on tour, and I've got one at home. That one at home is kind of my main go-to guitar. But then, like, this guitar is amazing, and this new Sir guitar is amazing. I've got a Les Paul, some 50s, like real 50s Les Paul Juniors that I love. So those are my go-to guitars, I think.
About Gibson, what do you think about the bankruptcy that was in the news in the last few days, and the decline in guitar sales, something that nobody could imagine?
I would say that I feel like Gibson Custom Shop is always going to be amazing. They're making amazing things, and that's the guitars I play. I had talked to Gibson about doing a signature model at one point, and we started to do it with Gibson USA, and it was just, I just wasn't happy with it, so it never went anywhere. I have a couple of the prototypes, Les Pauls, but to be honest, Gibson made a lot of bad choices with the Gibson USA line, where they were the robot tuners and trying to change the nut to a brass. All these things, but people don't want that, I think it was just some bad choices, and it's unfortunate because a lot of people, including a lot of friends of mine, lost their jobs already, from Gibson. But I think in the end, Gibson will come back stronger. That's
hope that.
I think it will. As far as guitar sales declining, there's a certain range of price that guitar sales are going down, but then there's other ranges that are stable. And the super high-end guitars they're still selling, but just not as many because the price keeps going up. But I think I do see a little bit of a trend where more kids are starting to play guitar now. So maybe in 10 years, it's going to be a different ball game again.
Which is for you, Doug, the best guitar solo of all times, and which is the best record that you recorded that you gave, 100% as a guitarist?
The best solo for me ever is very difficult, but I mean, off the top of my head, if I had to just pick an overall solo, I would probably say sometimes the ones without vocals, like Jeff Beck's "'Cause We Ended As Lovers." It's basically the whole song is a solo, and it's perfect. It's got everything. It's got the fire, it's got the soul, it's got the passion. Same with Gary Moore. He had a song called Karate.
Yeah.
Gary Moore had a solo called The Loner, and I love that. It's beautiful.
As far as your best record as a performer?
For me?
Yeah, yours.
I put my heart the most. I mean, I worked really hard on For More by Whitesnake. I worked hard on these Dead Daisies records. Everything I work hard on, but the first record I did with Whitesnake was the first full record. It's called Good to Be Bad.
Yes.
And I put my whole world into that record. I went through a lot of personal trauma going through that record, and I worked very hard on the songs with David, and so I'm very proud of Good to Be Bad. I think it's overall it was a lot of pressure on us because it was the first Whitesnake record back, and I think we killed it. I thought it was great,
Last question, or they're gonna kill me. You are very sexy, and you have this strong and erotic image also when you're on stage. erotic drive, I would say. Is it something that comes naturally for you, you know, losing to the music? Or there's also a concept behind it, you know, to have a complete vision of it?
There's no concept behind it at all. I just, when I'm playing, I really feel it. I feel the music, and it comes from how I really feel. And as far as, you know, sex appeal or whatever, I don't have it. It's the guitar that's got it.
Okay.
The guitar.
That's a combination of both.
The guitar's the sexy one. Trust me. I'm not the sexy one. Look at me. Look at this. Can't even see. Oh, there you are.
You look sexy anyway, also with glasses. Thanks so much, Doug, for your time.
Thanks, guys.
See you next time. Ciao.
Ciao.